welcome to Wednesday Reading Room Owls for children of 7 and over. I've got two amazing books for you this month. The first is by Ruth Symes, and this is Belladonna, Too Many Spells, a delightful book about a young witchling. And the second book is called The Devil's Triangle, and this is by Mark Robson, an amazing adventure. More of that in a minute. In the first book, Belladonna, Too Many Spells, by Ruth Symes, at the very beginning we were introduced to Belladonna. So I'm just going to read to you from the very beginning of the story. Some people might think that being a witch is easy peasy, but that's where they'd be wrong. And I should know, I am a witch. Well, strictly speaking, I'm a witchling, which is a young trainee witch. Being a witchling can get very confusing. Before school and after school, every weekend and school holidays, I spend my time in the magic world of Coven Road, but the rest of the time I have to go to school in the ordinary world. I've only lived in Coven Road for a few months. I used to live at Templeton Children's Home. I was left on the doorstep there when I was a baby. I dreamt that one day I'd be adopted by someone who didn't mind that I wanted to be a witch. It was all that I've ever wanted to be. Then one day Lilith came to the children's home. I just knew she was special and I had to be adopted by her. Well, so she was. Bella was adopted by Lilith, and she's very, very happy in her home. She goes to school, a fairly sort of regular girl in regular school, so it seems. But of course, when she's at home, she loves practicing her spells. She's desperate to be part of the spell casting television programme, and but things, in some ways she's almost too good at this, and things start to go wrong, a little bit wrong at school. So is she going to be able to go in for the competition, and is she going to be able to win it? Absolutely superb book, this, beautifully written and illustrated. It is fantastic. I really recommend it. Now for slightly older children, The Devil's Triangle by Mark Robson. This is also a fantastic book. The Devil's Triangle of the title is actually a very old name for the Bermuda Triangle, where of course lots of people have gone missing. This story is about, again, this appears to be a sort of regular family. There is the dad and then the twins, Sam and Neve. Sadly, their mother is no longer with them because they were on holiday 9 years before this story, and their mother, who was a marine biologist, went missing. Now, they've sort of accepted this, but Matt, who is the children's father, doesn't accept it entirely, and every summer they go back to their house in the Florida Keys, and he's absolutely obsessed with trying to find his wife. Understandable, of course. Now, the children this year, they've taken along Sam's friend Callum, and they're enjoying their life by the swimming pool and just doing the sort of things that young people like to do. But Sam and Callum get a little bit bored one day, so they decide to take Sam's dad's boat out without permission. Now, that in itself is obviously, of concern. But what gets really difficult is that they get into great difficulty, and they soon find themselves in, with huge problems. Now, this is when the boys, this is several chapters in, but still fairly close to the beginning of the story. They just realise that they're in trouble. Picking up the handset, Sam twisted the dial to the distress frequency. He paused for a moment to mentally compose his message. He had sailed and flown many times with his father. The phraseology his dad used when he was talking on the radio was familiar, but he'd not used it. Sam didn't want to press the button and make a fool of himself. All stations, this is Dream Chaser. Over? He paused, his heart racing as he waited for a reply. The hiss of static was interrupted by an occasional louder crackle, but there was no immediate response. All stations, this is Dream Chaser. I repeat, Dream Chaser, respond. Over. Nothing. Now, they really are going to have some enormous problems. They very soon, this is the boys, they soon find themselves in marooned in a very, very strange land. And they soon begin to wonder if in fact they are going to be affected by the triangle. It really is a fantastic book and a fantastic adventure. I really can't recommend this highly enough. I do hope you enjoy both these books, and I hope you will enjoy printing out the literacy activities that I've written to accompany these books.